going on? It's Buckeyes Gaming here, and we've got a really great video, a really great how-to. It's going to be how to snipe on Roblox. Now, the particular game I'm using, its address will be in the description, but it's going to be the Underground War. So, sniping. When to do it, when not to do it, and when you don't have any other choice. So, the game I'm playing on, you only get a sniper rifle and a sword, so that obviously leaves me to start sniping. How to snipe is pretty simple. All you have to do is put the crosshair on the guy and pull the trigger. However, for especially this game, you can see in the gameplay, I sped it up really fast, so that way there'd be a lot more action. Sniping is very boring. I would not suggest if you want to do a lot of fast-paced action. There's a lot of holding your cursor over spawn and just hoping some guy will pop up there, and there's a lot of running around. There's not a lot of actually sitting still like people would imagine. And if you're going to do it without getting your head blown off a couple seconds later, there's going to be a lot of running. Now, there's one good trick I use, and that's staying mobile. For example, when I was sniping in the game, and you'll see me pull this trick a lot, I'll shoot once, then I'll make it so that way everybody sees me going down the ladder, then I'll go back up and shoot again. Because when I'm going down the ladder, they're all adjusting their sights to see, oh yeah, he's definitely like going to run around, right? Well, no, you don't want to do that. You want to do whatever it takes to keep people on their edge. You want to make them think, where's he going to be next? So when I'm sniping, I'll go up there and take a shot, then juke out. That's one of the strategies, which I'll talk about in a second. Or I will go down the ladder and move to a new spot. Now, that doesn't necessarily make it so that way you have to completely relocate, but you want to be far enough away so that way the sniper reloading by the time he's reloaded doesn't just shift his aim and see where you were at. So in the game, I take one shot, go down the ladder, move to the next spot, take two shots, then reload, go down to the next one, and take two, then one. So it's one, two, two, one. That's the strategy I use. You pretty much have to adjust it as you go along in the game because people will eventually figure it out, and the number will change depending on what game type you're playing. I was pretty much sitting up in an eagle's nest picking people off at spawn, and I wasn't taking a lot of fire. There was the occasional kid who would go up in the other, like across the side in the other nest, and was trying to shoot me, but I think I killed most of them. I ended up with 15 kills, I think, in this particular gameplay, but I recorded it yesterday. I don't really know. So it's one, two, two, one. That's all you really have to use. And this is the one good trick I use to rake in a lot of kills. Now, a lot of people will not be good at sniping. However, there are a couple good people in every lobby, and if you watch this video all the way through, you will become one of them. So some mistakes people make is standing still. A couple of the kills I claimed were from people typing. Now, if it's a fighting game, you don't want to be typing. Even if it's your friend, if it's some kid smack talking, just let your rifle do the talking. Don't stand still ever. Then, because when you do, it literally lets snipers adjust their aim and take as much time as they need when you're typing. So my advice is to stay silent and let people rage at you all they want. In fact, in this gameplay, there's some kid dressed up like Yu-Gi-Oh! That actually was raging at me, and because I thought it was too funny, I moved to a safe spot and typed. Now, another mistake people will use is staying in the same spot. For example, you can see I zoomed out a couple times to see if the kid was still there, and I ended up stopping after a while because I knew they were going to be there. If you're going to be a good sniper, you have to be very unpredictable. So if I know that you're going to be in a certain spot, up in the right tower, let's say, I'm going to sit there and reload, then run by to my right tower while shooting at you. You won't see it coming because you'll be too busy looking at other people. So another thing I would try to recommend that you do is always, always, always check your back, because when I was still learning how to do it, I wouldn't check my back, and this is the underground war game, so they can sneak up into your spawn, pick you off from behind. You won't even see it until you explode. So if you do want to be a more aggressive sniper, and I showed both styles of jumping off while I was reloading and juking out. Now, one thing I did want to point out before I talked about juking out was that if you re-equip the sniper rifle instead of letting it sit there and reload, so you push one twice really fast, it makes it so that way you reload like 1 second faster. So for juking out, this is a really useful thing. You pretty much just want to start spamming the arrow keys. You don't want to be moving back and forth. You don't want to be predictable. That's essential for being a sniper, especially when you're juking out, because some kid's sitting at the other end of his computer, and if you're just moving 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, that's not going to work. You got to be moving at diagonal angles, front and back, left to right, anything you can while reloading. And I would actually prefer this if you're a more experienced sniper on Roblox, because this way you don't have to find the kid again. You can see where he was going, rather than jumping off and reloading on the go. You have to readjust your aim, figure out where he is, where everybody else is, and it just makes it a little bit harder. But a lot of people, when they're juking out, will just take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, and I can still shoot in the same straight line and hit you. You'll just be a little bit further away. Now, another mistake people will make, especially when it comes to juking out, is not realizing when to do it correctly. So when I juke out, most of the time I'm looking to see, is there another person? Because believe it or not, there's more than one person you're fighting against. So while you're fighting against them, there'll be another person who has all the time in the world to snipe you and you don't even see him. That's the true essence of the sniper. So if I'm shooting at a guy while I'm juking out up there, that gives me a field trip to check out who's spawning, where they are, which ones of them equip a sword. It gets pretty detailed if you actually want to snipe while on Roblox. Another tip I can give you is most of the time you'll be shooting out of a high point down to a low point, and you'll be shooting over a ledge. My advice to you, if you want to live, is to pull away from the edge while reloading. So you can see in the video, I actually, when I'm shooting, didn't put the barrel all the way over the edge, and I ended up shooting the wall a couple times, which is pretty humiliating, because then the kid dressed like Yu-Gi-Oh got to shoot me because I didn't juke in time. I thought he was going to die. So always make sure you pull away from the ledge. The same could go for shooting. Always make sure your gun is over the ledge. For zooming in and out, what I would prefer is, if you want to see if the kid is there, zoom all the way out so it looks like a bird's eye view. You can tell where everything is on the map that you can see. If I'm going to be shooting at the kid, I sometimes go in first person, but I like to keep my peripherals, and I don't like the sensitivity the mouse is on, so it takes a long time for me to move the gun. I don't really see any advantage to first person. However, if you want to make it more realistic for yourself for a bigger challenge, go ahead, go in first person. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about for this pretty long video is counter sniping. That's pretty much all the principles combined. If you're going to be shooting and you're in the same spot, or the same 3 spots called a circuit, that's what I call it, a circuit of places to shoot at, then you're going to be getting people who are sniping and adapting, and they're going to think, well, I need to take this guy out because he's been spawn killing us, he's been making it so that way we can't move our troops out. Now, I know this isn't that organized, but obviously if there's one good sniper, it's going to be every kid's goal on the other side to pick up his rifle and put the sniper down. So, if it were me counter-sniping, you want to do your best to create the illusion of you being there while you're not, so you can zoom in again and blast him. So that's why there was one kid in the lobby I actually shared a kill with, because he noticed how many kills I was racking up from doing the sniping thing, and did the noob way of sniping. He stood in one spot, held still while he was reloading. You know, he just wasn't that interested, but he still wanted to try it because he could tell that I was having a good job at it. So I used him to make him look like me. So I jumped down off the ledge. Now I'm looking at him, and I see him die. And I'm thinking, now is my chance. So even though I'm not done reloading, I climbed back up the ladder after watching him die to make sure the other kid would be behind me in the reload time. Then by the time I got up to the ladder, I waited a second and took the kid's head off. So that's pretty much it for counter sniping. I would recommend staying mobile and definitely making sure you are not seen. That's pretty much the essence of sniping. So, one more thing, this is kind of the goofball thing. If you're just hanging out in a lobby, you don't really care, you're not trying to do well. Trick shotting. I actually have a trick shot video up where I waited for the kid to shoot, then I jumped off the ledge and got an off-screen kill where I shot the kid when he wasn't on my screen. So go ahead, guys, have a field day. I did a YY in this lobby, which is an Xbox term meeting. I switched my weapon really fast back and forth to pull it back up. Then I jumped in and took his head off. So, you know, have a field day. Do whatever you want. Make as many cool tricks as you can. post video replies. I don't care. I want to see what you guys can come up with. So that's really it. I really appreciate all the views, guys. Like for more gameplay, leave a comment. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.